think our movement with and without the basketball, we're playing baseline to baseline, really. And we're attacking, we're finding the right reads, making the right plays, and letting the ball find the right shot. There were, I don't know, probably single-digit number of times where the ball stuck or we didn't move it. A lot of those early in the first, and then a couple in the fourth. But for the most part, the ball was really moving and popping, and we were taking care of it after that first quarter a lot better too, and that's important.
Chloe, Bibby, and Aari both not on the team to start the year,
Yep.
both in double figures today. What have you felt like you guys have done so well as a team to integrate players quickly and be able to have productive nights from them whenever you need it?
I mean, I don't know if it's so much us as it is them, and their ability to study the playbook and to really absorb it quickly. We try to limit what we run early when they're on the floor, when they're early in offense. But Aari's a point guard. She's got a point guard mentality. She came in knowing more than half of our offensive sets. And with Bibby, I mean, she's a stretch four and she's a shooter, and we haven't had that. And so when all else fails, just pick and pop. If something happens, just pick and pop. And she's a high IQ player. She understands, how to play, how to make plays. She's shot ready every time, and that's important. And it's also important that our passes are on time, on target to someone who's shot ready all the time. And I think we've been doing a better job with that.
To that point, a little bit more about Aari. I mean, how important has she been for you guys, especially with Caitlin having a couple of extended absences now?
She's been huge. Aari gives us another player who can get downhill. Her speed was on full display today. Another player who can handle the ball and take some pressure. It's hard to handle the ball 94 feet against extreme pressure. It just is. And Aari gives us a different dimension and a different look than Caitlin gives us. And Sid gives us yet a different look. And so the ability to have a player who can get downhill on days when, Kelsey hadn't had very many days where she hadn't been able to make her way to the rim. But on days like today, when there's one of them, you got another player who can create for herself and others.
Yep. Aliyah had 5 points in the first 3 quarters and then 17 in the fourth. And she talked about, staying confident throughout the entire game to have that kind of fourth quarter. Just how did the coaching staff encourage her when she was kind of struggling at the beginning to have that kind of explosion? I
think the most important thing with AB is just recognizing that scoring is yes, it's a big part of what she does, but it's not the only thing. And continue to reiterate next play to her and continue to show her the value of the winning plays that she makes. I mean, she really is a secondary ball handler for us, initiating offense. She makes the right read and the right play 99% of the time. She gives us size and versatility on the defensive end, more versatility than you would think. And she had a tough matchup tonight with AT. And so, her ability to stay locked in to what was important, to know that her time was coming, to trust that. And I thought we did a better job in the second half of getting her touches in areas that she could be successful.
You talked a little bit about being happy for DeWanna Bonner, finding a good spot for her. What was your overall thoughts on having her there in the reception tonight?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know anything about the reception. I don't hear anything once I'm out on the floor. But it's weird seeing her on the other side. But at the end of the day, basketball is basketball and relationships are relationships. And DB is one of my all-time favorites. She has been from afar for a long time, and then working with her for a number of years, she still is. And I care about DB as a person. And the business is the business, but the relationship is the most important thing. And so I'm happy that she found a good landing spot, and a special spot where she started her career. So I'm happy for her.
Are you pretty pleased looking at the diversity of this scoring box score? I mean, you couldn't have counted on 27 from Aari before the game, and you got that, and you had so many people step up at different times all throughout the game. That's got to be satisfying.
It is. I mean, almost 7 in double figures. I think we talk a lot about, we want to be a high assist percentage team. We want to be a well-balanced team. We know we look different without C on the floor, but we're very difficult to scout when we have this kind of balance, and I think it makes us dangerous. And every single player on our roster has experience, has gained experience throughout the course of this season. And when one player doesn't have it, another one does and steps up. And that's important. Our depth, while at times can be challenging, it's also one of our greatest strengths, and it pulls us through when we need it.
I think everyone scores the ball. How many did we have in double figures? 5. So I think just being able to move the ball and then everyone coming in and just hitting key shots at key moments. I think for us, it's once again finding who should shoot the ball, and then everyone just being confident enough to take those shots.
For you, when did you realize you had it kind of going tonight, and what kind of opened up for you? It felt like you were scoring kind of from basically everywhere.
When I seen those 2 threes go in, then I saw how easy it was, like getting into the paint. I'm like, okay, I'm converting. All right, I'm good. Like, let's keep being aggressive, or just keep taking what the defense is giving me.
Aari, you've come in from the jump and kind of fit seamlessly with this team. What's kind of been the key or keys for you to come in and be able to contribute like this right away?
I would say being a student of the game, always watching film, asking questions, and just knowing where my teammates, like the ball, and just, figuring out ways for them to be successful on the court.
Yeah, Aliyah, 17 points in the fourth quarter after 5 in the first 3. Just what changed in the fourth quarter, or what was your mindset kind of going into those final 10 minutes?
Honestly, all I can say is God is good all the time. I just think the start of the game obviously was rough, me just missing some easy bunnies, but honestly, my teammates, they do a great job of kind of just staying in my ear and letting me know, like, you're good. But at the same time, even though I'm missing, like, you had Didi come in and hit some big buckets, Baby come in and hit some big buckets. So, you can't really worry about the missed shots, because I think everyone steps up when it's their time. And honestly, I think that just made everything better, because once people start hitting shots from the outside, then everyone's up, everything's high end, and then you just go score.
For Aari, when we see you guys huddle up every time, it seems like Sophie's making a lot of noise in the huddle. What is she saying?
She's just, it's all good information, just, making sure, okay, hey, what are we in offense? Our matchups defensively. And I think she's a voice, a calm in the storm for us. And she's always, consistent in that area, just talking to us.
What was it like having DeWanna Bonner return to Indiana, and what were your thoughts on the fan reception tonight?
Honestly, that got nothing to do with me. I think DB returned because we were playing Phoenix, and so that happened to be that. The fans chose to do what they wanted to do, but for us, it's about paying attention to what we have to do here, and that was coming in and getting a big win, which we were able to do.
Aari, back to you. Literally not being on a team opening night to now career high today, how have you kind of pushed through any self-doubt or negative emotion this season and continued to play at the level you have as a smirk comes through?
Staying in the gym. No, literally. She's seen me and my husband walk to the gym at night. But just honestly, staying in the gym and just staying confident. My teammates, they've been talking like, hey, keep shooting the coaches. And so I think tonight I really was like, okay, like, this is my time to shine. Everyone's, encouraging me. So it's just, I have to believe. And so, just staying in the gym, staying locked in, and just staying aggressive. That's been the key for me.
Aliyah, for a while, stringing together wins is an issue, but now you've won 3 straight for the second time this season. What does it feel like in terms of you guys clicking? And like you were saying earlier, if it doesn't matter who has a good quarter, whatever, everybody is kind of stepping up as needed.
Yeah, that's super important for us, especially, the second half of the season now, thinking about, the season coming to an end, thinking about that playoff push. The biggest thing for us is being consistent. We've been saying that all year, and I think this is a good game for us because we went up against a great Mercury team that has hitters from all over the place, and, they have AT running the show. And so for us, just making sure that if we can lock in and hone in defensively on a team that has as many shooters and spacers as they do, then honestly, that's just going to help us in the long run.